minutes of fame, right? We're going to do a few minutes of fame, a few minutes of fame. You all come in, do your do nows, right? Hit that like button, hit that share button, right? And also drop your name, say hello, or just your city and or state, right? Whether you are watching this live or on the replay, as America's supply shortage from cars to toilet paper to toys and more is here. We are in a supply shortage, people. America is not producing anything. This is not doom and gloom. This is to inform you of the news, right? You cannot turn from this and just live off of hope, right? Right? You can't just live off of hope. We're not in Jesse Jackson era where hope is an answer, right? We got to do more than just hope. For this is going to be the greatest depression since 1933. Since 1933. Hello. Thanks for tuning in. Hello to you. Who me says, yo, what's up? What's up, who me? Hello, Romy Rome, King of Kings, says Queen of Queens. Hello, Romy Rome. Thanks for tuning in. Right. When the music goes off, I'm going right into the subject. Right? I'm going right into the subject, and there we go. So come in, hit that like, hit that share button. So much to share with you on this live stream, but just a little time, because as I exit this live stream, I have in approximately 28 minutes a live stream for my business partners, my home-based business partner. We're having a private Zoom training for my home base. I'm hosting a private Zoom training for my home-based business partners. So if you are my business partner in the home-based business, make sure that you join me in this private Zoom in approximately 28 minutes. So let's get started. Thank you on Facebook for the thumbs up as well. Thank you, bruh XRP. XRP says I hit that like button. I do appreciate that, bruh. Can a person still benefit from your home-based business if they don't have a job? Of course. That's the initial plan. We want people to get in the home-based business if they don't have a job, because it creates extra passive income streams, right? Now, the 369, I'm going to switch that up. The 369, if you have a paycheck, right, in 3 days you get an instant pay raise in your paycheck. I'm going to say instead of in 6 weeks, right, 6 weeks, then we want people to start generating passive income. It can happen before 6 weeks. It can happen in 6 days, right? It can happen in 6 days, but this is the thing. It usually takes a transformation of the mindset from people shifting from being an employee to an entrepreneur, of being told what to do, of being afraid to talk to people and share their testimony. To share, because guess what? This is the way I look at it. Why wouldn't you talk to people when we're entering into a second 2.0 depression about how to make over their finances, how to better their credit, how to lower their bills, how to create cash flow from home, especially people who decided to not receive the jab and they lost their job as a result. People who got into retirement and figured that, hey, I'm military, I'm going to retire, only to look for a second job at the postal services, or retired teacher, for example, that found out their pensions don't supply you what you need. And the retired teacher who used to retire and say, welcome to Walmart, that's not an option anymore. Samuel says, I want my girlfriend to join you in business ventures. She has been talking about entrepreneurship for a while now, and I think this would be a great move. I put her put her onto your website and videos. Thank you so much, Samuel. That's what kings do. So that is so great of you. So thank you for being a king and initiating and helping her take those first steps in movement. Because what a lot of people don't know is that it often takes a mindset shift, and it takes systems and strategies to build a business outside of a job, right? But it also uh, takes knowing management skills, right? And the Bible, Matthew 25, all of that was about management. And a lot of people like to be like the parable of talents, where they just sit and they're comfortable. I spoke to a man today, and he said, you know what? He was jokingly having a conversation with me. I was talking to a hotel worker about having a conference that I want to have next month. So if I get the conference room, I will be live streaming on that in the upcoming days. I'm still waiting on confirmation. So the manager was not in, so I was speaking to just a worker, and he had a lot of keys. He said, well, let me show you what the conference room looked like. Let me give you a tour. And I said, oh, the man with the keys, right, has the power. He said, no. He said, no, I told him I do not want keys. I do not want that responsibility. All I want to do is come home. I mean, go to work, come here, go to work, do my 8 hours, go home to my wife, and not have to think about my job and not bring my job home with me, which is all great, right? That's all great. And just wait on my alarm clock and crash on my couch and talk with my wife and just wait on my alarm clock to wake me up to do the same thing the next day. And I was like, wow, people are robotic. And so in a business, right, you have to step out of your comfort zone. That's what the parable of Matthew 25 broke down. The man that had the one talent, all he had to do was just increase that one talent, right? The other two servants received five talents and 2 talents. Well, all he had to do was increase that one. And he was so in a comfortable state, did not want to step outside of his comfort zone, that all he did was dug his money and hid it in the ground. Right? That's all he wanted to do. He wanted to stay in the comfort zone. But people, let me tell you, a great shaking is coming. Right? And as the parable of the 10 virgins state in Matthew 25, people, midnight is coming. You cannot fall asleep. Because in both parables, it says the master and the bridegroom was a long time in coming, and they became drowsy, right? In the parable of the 10 virgins, they became drowsy and they fell asleep. People, you got to stay woke. You can't sleep on this stuff. You can't think that this is just going to be a temporary thing. So one man who received the 5 bags of gold or talent or ounces of gold, it says, you know what they did? They said at once, immediately they went to work and gained 5 more. Immediately, upon having an opportunity, they immediately took action. And the one with 2 bags or 2 talents or 2 ounces, they said gain 2 more. But the one who had received 1 bag, listen, he went off and dug a hole. See, he went off and physically performed labor by digging a hole and hid the money. See, all 3 persons put forth some effort, but the other 2 people decided to move it into a marketplace, a place that was, because they said they immediately left. They left that current situation. They was like, look, this is dead. Right? This is a dead situation, or this is dying. They immediately went to work and they went into the marketplace, went into a different venue. But the one that was so comfortable with his situation, he dug a hole, took a shovel. That takes work, effort, labor. The same labor he could have applied by going into the marketplace, by deciding to just stay there and let me go through the same routine of waiting to the snooze button wakes me up, do a job, don't give me too much keys, too much responsibility, right? I just want to be comfortable. And some people, there are two things that make people change their financial lives, right? Pain or pleasure. You have to decide which one of those will put you in that position. It's only two things that make people change their financial lives, their mental life, their emotional. Pain or pleasure. The pain of being broke, the pain of living paycheck to paycheck, the pain of having your checking account in the negative, the pain of seeing that the government, let me pull that up, is definitely going to, now Nancy Pelosi came out and said we are definitely going to implement the 600 transactions, not only on PayPal and Venmo and Cash App, but in your checking accounts, right? In your checking account. So this is Biden proposal to empower, right? Yeah, and what do I mean by pleasure? Pleasure is you're ready for a change. You're ready for time freedom. See, rich and wealthy people value their time. When people, like, I had someone with texting my phone, I just blocked them. Texting me, your crypto book teach me about investing, or do you do it one-on-one? I said, well, the crypto book teaches you everything. It even it's an ebook that provide the links. Well, how long do you think? I can't answer that. I don't, and I mean, I said block. I can get money back any day. I can't get my time back. Right. And if you work with me, I'm just going to let you know, if you don't follow instructions number 1, I'm not giving you instructions number 2. Right. I can get money back. I can never get my time back. So Biden's proposal to empower the IR to the S rattles banks and their customers when Biden administration look for ways to pay. Listen at this, or look at this if you don't want to listen, but look for ways to pay for the president's expansive social policy bill. This is how they're going to pay it. They're going to raise the debt ceiling. They're going to get it through taxes and people that don't have tax shelters, or they don't have IRS specialists to help them, like my home-based business offers. So revenue by cracking down on 7 trillion, look at this, unpaid taxes. Now it's saying mostly from wealthy individuals and businesses. That's not true. Why do you think now more than $600 on annual deposits or withdrawals from your bank account to the IRS will now be reported? People, rich and wealthy people, do not even use banks. They don't. They have their money tied into either real estate, gold, silver, now cryptocurrency, other investment venues that's always making their money work harder than they work for the money. They don't use banks because banks pay no interest. It's no benefit for them to use a bank account. And so now we have also, when I say we, the United States, all down. Gas prices is the highest it's been in 70 years. 7 is the number of divine transition, right? Divine completeness. Gas prices, the highest it's been in 70 years, all down as global energy crunch begins to bite. So they're saying there's going to be an energy crisis. And guess when it's going to happen, people? In the winter. Been telling people, right? Even if you have to go to a camping store, get you some camping bags or some clothing that holds your body temperature, right? Solar generator panels. Get you some kerosene oil and kerosene lamps. We got to go back to what our great grandparents and grandparents did. Have you a saw in place to cut trees for firewood. Some coal in place to put in your if you have an outdoor grill, right? Have something in place for heat this summer. Because a global crash of not only food that's available on the store shelves, right? And I'm not doom and gloom. I'm just sharing you the news, right? Of food on the store shelves, but now also global energy, they're saying. Energy crisis. We never thought that, for example, in spring and March, that we would see the southern states like Texas and Georgia and Mississippi and Louisiana and all of them with a great winter storm, right? And so also now they are also warning of a twindemic. A twindemic. So a twindemic, let me see if I can find it. Let's listen in. What a twindemic is.
At a certain level that overwhelms a system.
Dr. Entler tells me that right now, Michigan is on a slight downward trend from the latest surge of COVID-19 cases, but hospitals are still near capacity.
So what we're seeing in addition in our hospital has been fairly much at capacity, and is even outside of COVID. I believe patients may have been putting off well care and different things from last year when there were the lockdowns, and we're really seeing patients that are quite ill outside of COVID coming into the hospital and in our critical care units as well.
Last year, the US saw a historically low prevalence of flu cases thanks to COVID measures.
I'm going to stop sharing that video right there. They saw a historic low of flu cases thanks to COVID measures. Yeah, right. You just didn't report it as the flu. Okay. You said everything was COVID. You said everything was COVID. And so the global supply chain is an additional concern that's getting worse. And someone says, Queen, my grocery store shelves are full as a tick. Well, guess what? Mine are too. But guess what they did? And I talked to the managers today because I went to the grocery store. They made the aisles closer. They started doing it these months ago so it can appear that the shelves are full. And they made the shelving for the meat department smaller. So it gives you the untrained eye, the appearance that it's fully stocked. You can barely now have two carts or two people in opposite direction in the aisles now at my major grocery store because they started making those changes to make the aisles and the shelves appear to be full. And the untrained eye would think, oh, that's fine. No, you didn't notice how small those aisles have gotten? And the shelves got the upgrade. You didn't notice that? So the global supply chain nightmare is about to get worse. According to this article, the supply chain nightmare is jacking up prices for consumers, slowing the global economic recovery, right? As the global economic recoveries continue to stem, what is increasing apparent is how it would be stemmed by supply chain disruptions now showing up at every corner. The IMF downgraded its 2021 U.S. growth forecast Tuesday by 1 point. There we see G7 again, by the G7 economy. So supply chain bottlenecks such as lack of new cars. Do you see the parking lots are empty of new cars? That's a whole market right there for now. We don't have car salesmen that will have jobs in the winter. If we don't have car sales, we don't have production of new cars. That affects GM, Ford, Nissan, all of those, Mercedes, all of those plants. As this says, this is combined with for a perfect storm where global production will be hampered. And it's telling you, deliveries will not be made in time. Costs and prices will rise, and GDP growth worldwide will not be as robust as a result worldwide. Why? Because it's a worldwide economy, currency system reset. It's worldwide. Okay, sir, you're going to see if Washington State is so much better than other states, then stay on my live stream. We're going to continue to break this down, and you'll see the shortages. Because it doesn't matter where you are, right? This is coming. Quintessential, thank you for the $5 super chat. I just sent someone a message about number 5, the double 5. It's specifically the number 5, as David had 5 smooth stones. That represents victory and war, right? But Matthew 5:5, quintessential states or says, "Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth." Matthew 5:5. So 5 is a number of victory, war, and inheritance and reward. Isaiah 55:1. Isaiah 55:1 says, "Whoever has no money, right, come and eat, buy wine and drink milk without money and without a price." Right? And so this is another affirmation I'm going to add, and I have to log off because I have to do my private home-based business partners meeting in 8 minutes. But thank you, DT. Just joining. Yeah, I was explaining about the Twindemic. For those who give their tithe or give their time or talent to the channel, right? Make this affirmation. I now tithe to the spiritual organization or the individuals and spiritual work from which I am receiving help and inspiration. Right? I now tithe or I now give to the individual from which I am receiving help, knowledge. We can add knowledge and inspiration. Right? Let me write that down. I am now giving to the individual and spiritual work from which I am receiving knowledge, inspiration, and help. So on this, I'm going to wrap this up. I got to get my private Zoom started. But yes, I did talk about the Twindemic, the flu, and now COVID. They're warning about that. Restaurant and hotel workers are quitting their job at a rate that's more than twice. We see 2 again. Twindemic, also Twin Towers, the Miami condos, right? All forewarning, as this was quintessential 5 hours ago exactly, that there are jobs at a rate that's more than twice the record of national average. Look at this Burger King sign for the person in Washington, D.C. You should be so grateful that your shelves are stocked, because this must be just an issue in other states and not Washington, D.C., right? Burger King says, "We all quit. Sorry for the inconvenience." We all quit. Sorry for the inconvenience. As Dave Ramsey said, if you're depending on stimulus checks, you're pretty much already screwed. But if they do give out a stimulus check, I think it will be when the Fed coin comes in, probably around March or spring of next year, after we've been through the winter, right? And so I'm pretty sure the next stimulus check will be in the form of a Fed coin, a digital coin. And most people may not be able to recognize what it looks like, because it will look like just another electronic transaction, but this time the checks and the debit cards will not be an option or not be available, right? If you're going to plant your own food, I say this over and over again, because you can have freezers that are out during electrical shortages. Your food can spoil. If you're cooking on a stove, whether it be gas or electricity, that can be an issue as well. So if you are growing your own food, make sure you have the ammunition to protect it, because other people will be experiencing starvation. And especially if you have some type of outside greenhouse that's in the winter months, you have to have around the clock security for that and the ammunition to protect your property and your food. So that's an additional expense. So gas prices hit a 70-year high. They're ranging from last night, one article says $4.44 a gallon, over more than $1 than just a year ago. That's the highest it's been since 2014. So we're going to have a gas crisis, global electrical food supply chain, right? So yeah, you all prepare and plan. Do I have a picture of the coin? What coin are you talking about? All right, you all, I have to sign out. I have to start my Zoom for my home-based business. So just want to give you that quick up-to-date. Restaurant workers, for the ones that do have food. And look, if I don't deal well with people that want to come on my channel and start a debate. After I address, your difference and you're still commenting, I just block people off my channel, right? I just block people off my channel. You're welcome. And so, yeah, get your mind right, people, so you can get your money right and get out of the illusion that this is going to be a healthy economy, as restaurants are trying to hire workers to fill the demands. Restaurants are the hardest hit industry during the pandemic, right? And even Kamala Harris, the vice president, says, start your Christmas shopping now. So I'm logging off, right? Thank you so much, Quintessential. I appreciate you all too. Since your giving is the first part of receiving, your giving makes you rich. So also, Quintessential also say, I tithe or I give to the individual in spiritual work from which I am receiving help, knowledge, and information. Thank you all. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. And how big can you think, right? How big can you think? Magnify your mind, manifest with your mouth, multiply your money, people. You need more than one source of income. You really need more than two. Ecclesiastes 11 says you need 7 to 8. And magnify your mission. Listen, be blessed to be a blessing. You all stay safe out there. Queen out. Stay safe and prepare. All right? Stay safe and prepare.